What's up everyone, Happy New Year. I'm going to start the year off by showing you guys how to make a double jump plugin in Minecraft Spigot. So let's go ahead and double space. If we try it again, you can see that there's a cooldown, so we have to wait 5 seconds before double jumping again. So now we can do it. Wait, there we go. So if we go in third person as well, we can see that there's a particle effect and a sound. So it's a cool little cloud effect. Boom, pretty cool. So what I'll be doing is showing you guys how to make this plugin from scratch. So how to double jump, how to add a cooldown, how to add particle effects to make it look snazzy, and then finally how to add configuration options so that you can configure the jump amount as well as the cooldown amount. So let's get started. Now the first thing you have to figure out is how to actually detect double jumping in Minecraft, because there's no way to listen for key presses in Minecraft, at least with plugins. The way that we can get around that is with player.setAllowFlight. So every time a player joins our server, we can do event.getPlayer and we have set allow flight. As the documentation says, it says sets if the player is allowed to fly via the jump key, double tap like in creative mode. So what this is saying is that basically whenever you're in creative mode, you know how you can double press space to start flying? That's what that allows you to do, even if you're in survival mode. So whenever this is set to true, you can hit double space and it will allow you to fly. So that is how we're going to be able to detect if someone wants to double jump. So if we set allow flight, set that to true, now we can detect when they hit double space by listening to a different event. So this would be the player toggle flight event. So this is called exactly when they hit double space, and set allow flight is equal to true. If it's not true, then obviously this would not be triggered because they cannot, toggle flight, right? So the way that this will work is, since we don't want them to actually fly, we want them to double jump, we'll just cancel the event. So we can do event.setCanceled to true. One thing that we'll add is that if the player is in creative mode, we're going to return out of this and don't cancel the event, just so that the player can actually fly, because we're just going to assume if the player is in creative, they're not in survival or spectator or adventure mode, they probably don't care about double jumping, okay? So we're going to do if player.getGameMode is equal to GameMode.creative, then we're going to go ahead and return. So if the player is in anything other than creative, like survival or adventure, it will cancel the event, making it so that they cannot fly, but we're going to do the double jump effect now. Another condition that we need to add though is make sure that the player is currently not flying, because the way that you enable flight is by double tapping space, but you can also disable flight by double tapping space. So we could check that by doing player.is flying. So if they're not currently flying, then we will go ahead and go forward with the double jump effect. So first we're going to do player.setAllowFlight to false. Right here we set it to true so they can actually do the effect, but we're going to set it to false here because we're about to actually do the effect, which we don't want them to be able to spam. So while we're doing the effect of making them double jump, we don't want them to be able to toggle flight again. So we're going to do player.setVelocity, which is the representation of the speed and direction in which the player is traveling. So we're going to get the player's current location, and then we're going to get the direction from that location, which is a unit vector pointing in the direction that the location is facing. So a unit vector kind of gets into physics a little bit and math, but a unit vector is basically the 3D representation of where an object is facing in terms of X, Y, and Z. So what we'll do is get that unit vector so we know which direction the player is facing, and we're going to modify the Y to make it higher than normal because we want the player to essentially do a bigger jump than normal, right? So basically the way it works is when the player toggles flight, they're going to double jump, right? So they already jump once, and then while they're already in the air, really quickly they press space again, and that toggles flight, right? So basically we're going to get a unit vector that represents the current direction that the player is going, and what we're going to do is modify the Y value so that it's higher than normal, so that the jump effect is larger than normal, okay? So we're going to do that by doing set Y, and now here you just want to kind of find a sweet spot number for how big or small you want the effect to be. We'll just start at 0.5. I found that to be a good number. So we'll start there and see what that looks like. We need to have one more event listener for when the player lands. So public void on player land. We're going to detect when the player lands back on the ground because while they're currently doing the effect, we disable allow flight, right? So they can't spam it essentially. So the perfect time to re-enable it is when they land, right? So that's why we're doing that. So we'll get the player, and now we're going to need to figure out how to detect if the player is on the ground. Originally, you could do player.isOnGround, but this, as you can see, is a deprecated method. As it says, this is because it's controlled by the client side, so it's a little unreliable. The way that we can get around this is by using the entity version of this method. So what we're going to do is take player and cast it to an entity like that. So we're casting the player object to an entity type because player inherits from entity. And then now we're going to do isOnGround. So as you can see, this one's not deprecated, and this one returns true if the entity is supported by a block. This value is a state updated by the server and is not recalculated unless the entity moves. So we can open this up, and now we can say player player.setAllowFlight to true. And that's it for the basic flow of making a double jump plugin. So here we're just registering our listener. Let's go ahead and throw it on the server now and test it out. All right, I'm on the server now, so let's test it out. So if I'm in creative mode, nothing happens. I can still fly like normal, but if I go back into survival mode, let's try it. Look at that. Double jump, double jump, double jump. And that's why I said 0.5, because this is, in my opinion, the perfect amount. But if you want a more dramatic double jump effect on your server, obviously you can just make it bigger. But in a moment, I'll show you guys how you can add that to the config so that the server owner can dynamically set that amount. Like I mentioned, we're getting the unit vector of where the player is going when they jump initially, and we're just modifying the Y value so that the jump is further essentially. Let's spice it up a little bit. We're going to add these effects here. So we're going to add a particle effect when they double jump. So it's going to spawn a little cloud. It's going to look pretty cool. And then we're going to add a sound effect so that it just, does a little whoosh effect essentially. So let's take a look at how that looks. All right, I'm back. So let's go into third person mode and boom. So hopefully you can hear that. I don't know if it's coming through, but there is a whoosh effect. And when I jump, there is a little cloud. So I think that looks pretty awesome. Now what I want to do is show you guys how you can add a cooldown to this effect, because obviously you may not want your players to be able to just jump for an infinite amount of time over and over and over and over. So let's make it so that whenever they double jump, they have to wait a little bit before double jumping again. So to do the cooldown, we'll need a way to track when players last jumped, because every time they jump, we'll need to see when they last jumped to see if we can allow them to jump again, right? So we're going to do that with a hash map. So private final hash map. And we're using a hash map because a hash map allows you to do a key value pair. So the key is going to be the UUID of the player, and then the value will be a long, which is how we're going to store the time. And so we'll call this map last jump time, and we can go and initialize that here. So hash map. And like I was saying before, the reason a hash map is so useful here is because we can uniquely identify every single player with their UUID with a last jump time. Okay, so now down here we can check the cooldown by doing if last jump time dot contains key player dot get unique ID. So if the player is currently in the hash map, we want to check to see their last jump time. If they're not currently in the hash map, this means that they've never jumped before, or double jumps rather. So we can do long time elapsed is equal to system current time millis, which will get the current time in milliseconds. So it's just basically a timestamp as a long, and we're going to subtract that by the value stored in that hash map. So last jump time dot get player dot get unique ID. So doing this will get the difference in milliseconds between the current time when this is running and the time when they last jumped. So we can then check to see if time elapsed is less than whatever amount we want to do. So if we want to make it so that the player can only jump every 5 seconds, that would be 5,000 milliseconds. So 5,000. So if that's the case, we'll do this piece of code here. This will simply give you the amount of seconds they need to wait before they can do it again. And then we're going to send the player a message saying, you must wait, whatever seconds are left, seconds before double jumping again, so that the player knows they have to wait. And then we'll just make sure to return it so that it does not run any of the actual jump logic. So now if it made it past this point, this means that the player can jump. So we'll do that jumping, and then the last thing that we want to make sure to do is update the player's last jump time. So we'll do last jump time dot put, and we'll do the player's UUID as the key, and then we'll do system dot current time milliseconds, so that of course next time they try doing this, it'll be able to grab their last jump time and check to see if they're able to jump or not. And that's it. That's all you have to do to enable a simple cooldown. You just need a way of storing players and the last time they jumped, and then you just cross-reference it and you're good to go. Back on the server, so we're going to try double jumping. Boom. Let's do it again. Look at that. You must wait 4 seconds before double jumping again. But you will notice that we have a little bit of a bug here. If they have not met the cooldown and they need to wait, it will enable me to fly, which I should not be able to do. This is because I need to make sure that we cancel enabling flight no matter what. Because if they are not able to double jump, or if they are able to double jump, we still want to make it so that the player does not fly. So hopefully that makes sense. Let's go ahead and try it again. Okay, so let's double jump. Boom. Boom. Okay, so we can wait. It's updating us, which is great. So now if I try it again, boom. Try it again, boom. Pretty cool, right? Pretty simple to implement as well. Okay, so the last thing I want to do is show you guys how you can add configuration to this plugin, because of course you may want server owners to be able to configure both the cooldown time and also maybe the jump velocity, so they can configure how far the player jumps whenever they double jump. So we'll do that by going to our resources and making a new config file, so config.yml. And so we'll add a jump velocity, which is 0.5 by default. Then we'll add cooldown, which we'll do as 2.5 by default. And we'll just add some messages here saying cooldown between jumps seconds. So this means that they have to wait 2.5 seconds before they can double jump again. And then this one is the velocity applied when double jumping. So now that we have these config values, we need to grab them. The first thing that you always want to do is go to your on enable and do save default config, which will make it so that we save an actual copy of the config file in the plugins folder if there's not one already. So now in our jump listener, we need a way to grab those values. So first thing I like to do is just get an instance of the main plugin class. We'll do double jump plugin. So we'll do that in the constructor. So we're going to add a constructor with a constructor parameter where you pass the plugin instance and it will set it like that. So now back in our main plugin class, we just need to pass in this. So now the instance of this current plugin here will be passed in when we create the listener. And now you could use this plugin instance to grab the config values. So we could do something like this, private final double jump velocity and private final double cooldown. And we're just going to go ahead and grab these and set them whenever we load the class. So we'll do this dot jump velocity is equal to plugin dot get config dot get double jump velocity. So this will match up to whatever we have here, jump velocity. And then we'll have another one for cooldown. So this dot cooldown is equal to plugin. There we go. One thing that we can do to improve this is add default values to whenever we're getting these values, so that if you do control P, it says double default. So if this does not exist, it will use the default. So we could set the default to 0.5. And then for cooldown, we can have a default of 2.5. So hopefully that makes sense, so you don't have to check to see if it's null or something like that. And then also we need to make sure that we convert our cooldown, which is in seconds, as you can see, to milliseconds, because when we're using it below, we use it as milliseconds. So we can easily do that by just multiplying it times 1,000, because 1,000 milliseconds is 1 second. So that's an easy conversion. And now we just need to use them. So down here, we can change it from cooldown, or 5,000 to cooldown. And then right here, we can change it from 0.5 to jump velocity. So currently in the plugins folder, there's no config.yml, but if I reload the server now with these changes, we can see that one is generated for us. We can see that we have the default values with the comments. So jump velocity 0.5 and cooldown 2.5. So let's go and try it out. So the cooldown seems to be working. It's just hard to test it because it's such a low number. So we'll change the jump velocity to 2 and we'll change the cooldown to, let's say, 10. We're going to save now and then make sure to reload the server. All right, let's try it out now. So we can double jump and we can see that we go really far. And if we try doing it again, we have to wait 8 seconds. So the cooldown's working as well. Hopefully you guys found this interesting. Now you guys should know how to make a double jump plugin. If there's any other plugins you guys want me to show you how to make, then please let me know and I will try doing it. Make sure to check the description for the code and subscribe. Peace. So that's it for this video, everybody. I really hope you learned something new. If you liked the video, please hit the like button, and if you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. Make sure to also check the description below for important links to code and other resources, but also really important, join our Discord. We have a big community of over 5,000 programmers, and it's a place where you can find new friends or get help on any code that you're stuck on. If you want to support what I do on this channel, please consider hitting the join button below, and this will allow you to support my channel for as low as $1 a month, but there are different tiers to choose from if you want to. For anyone that becomes a member on my channel, you get a special rank on my Discord server, early access to new videos, and you can just see yourself on the screen right now. So if that sounds cool to you, feel free to join. If you don't want to, that's fine. If you can't, that's okay too. I really just appreciate you watching the video anyway. Thank you so much. And that's it. Peace.